Dozy's opinion. The great Orientalist Dozy gave this definition of Freemasonry. Freemasonry is a large group of different sects, but all working for one purpose, which is to rebuild the temple, because the temple is the symbol of the state of Israel. The Grand Counselors read. The members of the Great Council, when opening the session, read the following words: "We believe in the one God, the God of Moses and Aaron, who revealed the Torah, who created the chosen and chosen nation, and who made the Gentiles to serve the chosen nation. Our homeland is Palestine. The blood that flows in our bodies is the blood of Israel. Our belief is that we are successors on earth. Bless our assembly, O God of Israel, O God of Moses and Aaron. Amen." What was read in the assembly 33. In assemblies attended by members who have reached the 33rd degree, the following words are read. We will return to the time of Solomon the son of David. We will rebuild the holy temple. In it, we will read the Talmud. We will fulfill all the wills and promises. For the sake of Israel's splendor, we will devote all our energy. Woe, woe to the usurper and occupier. We will dismember them in the mouths of lions, in revenge. Revenge that has long been silent in the darkness. Favor us, O Lord of the holy lights that have appeared on the threshold. What is read at the death of a Freemason? The funeral of a Freemason who has not attained the rank of cavalry hero, who is free of his lineage. The following words are read. O Lord Moses and Aaron, this deceased belongs to the rotten sons of Japheth, but he is also a brother of the converted. He has labored for the cause of building your temple. He has stood 7 times between pillars B and C. He has taken the light of M. M is your most high majesty. We wish to leave him in your mercy. O most merciful, O most merciful, O Gai Thana. Vows of the ambassadors of compassion. The ambassador of mercy, that is, the hero of the cavalry free of lineage, who is sent by his assembly as an ambassador to one of the highest places, he swears, I am a great teacher, I swear and promise, by laying my hand on the holy book of the Torah, which I believe to be the first and last divine book, there being no other book either before or after it. I swear by the truth of the great light that has appeared on the Mount of Tor, which has shone in the faces of Moses and Aaron. I promise that I will do all the tasks assigned to me, and I will strive to the last breath of my life, and I will shed my blood to the last drop, for the purpose of building the great Mosaic state that shines the light of holiness throughout the world. I will endeavor to take revenge against all the enemies of our Ummah, the holy Ummah of Zion. I will endeavor to destroy all other beliefs that the usurpers have imposed upon the nations, and that I will challenge with the sword that is in my hand every invader who attacks the land of my holy ancestors. I sign my pledge with my blood, witnessed by the heads of the Jaliotites present. The secret words that this ambassador was to speak at the great assemblies to which he was sent were Zion, Shalut. Contents of the first degree oath. The oath pronounced by the one who enters the first degree in the assembly, the text of which we have mentioned before, contains obedience to the laws of the Universal House of Assembly, which consists of 12 Jews. Arab Official Report. In an official report issued by the United Arab Republic in the summer of 1964, there is the following text. The British Freemasonry Club, located on Thompson Street in Cairo, has been placed under guard. Brother Muhammad Ali Awad, Deputy Public Guard, has emptied it of all its contents. From this investigation and clearance operation, it was evident that the club had been operating in accordance with British law, and its members had acted in accordance with the provisions of British law. The leadership of the club fled all documents and records dating back to 1952 to London. There was clearly a new connection with Israel, as it was discovered that all the club's equipment bore the Israeli star. 12 flags representing the 12 tribes of Israel have also been seized. The paintings, furniture, printed matter and leaflets in the club have a British-Israeli character. We would also like to take this opportunity to refer to the book The History of the Zionist Movement, in which there are detailed descriptions of the links between the Zionist movement and Freemasonry, as well as with Christian religious bodies in Britain and other European countries, long before the Balfour Declaration. We will see more of this in detail in a moment when we discuss the relationship between Freemasonry and the Islamic world. Jordanian Freemasonry Statement. In the Statement of Jordanian Freemasonry, at the conclusion of the International Freemasonry Conference in Jordan, which was published by the newspapers there on May 7, 1964, we can see the following sentences: Arab Jordanian Freemasonry has never forgotten that international Zionism has exploited Freemasonry in the ugliest form ever known to mankind by deceiving and misleading thinkers and influential people in international bodies and sessions. All this is being used for the purpose of establishing the State of Israel in the midst of the Arab homeland, in collusion with foreign imperialism, to keep the Arabs from coming to their senses and from uniting. We record our pride and honor to those of you who have deeply felt the nature of the relationship that exists between Freemasonry and international Zionism. Freemasonry has been exploited in the greatest possible form by international Jewry, so that it has been able to use the leaders of Freemasonry in all parts of the world in the interests of Zionism, to revive the greatness of Israel in the holy Islamic homeland of Palestine. We are also, without mincing words, very surprised to note that there are still Arabs who continue to be members of the Arab and Muslim Freemasonry for the assemblies in the East, even though they are aware of the facts we have stated above. Is there still a thinking man who wants to play into the hands of his enemy, who has destroyed him and humiliated him, who has entrenched himself in the bosom of his homeland, into which he thrusts his poisonous knife? Attempts to justify the attitudes of Arab and Islamic Freemasonry. They may say, we are Arab Freemasons, or Islamic Freemasons. We have no connection whatsoever with Freemasonry abroad. This is what they use as an excuse to stay in the temple. Is this really the case? Answer: have they forgotten that they are part of the Universal Assembly led by the Jews? Did they not take an oath to that effect when they entered the first level of the assembly? Opinions of a great Freemason. Freemasonry is a tool of the occupiers and Zionism. Now, let us read the opinion expressed by the great teacher Fahmy Shidki Amari. Freemasonry has various means. Among other things, it is used by the colonizers as a tool to spread and strengthen their colonization under the blanket of Freemasonry. Among them, specifically for the purposes of Zionism. This is the opinion of the great master, the top Freemasonry. So where does freedom lie? A Freemason says Freemasonry carries out foreign orders. In a talk given by the chairman of the Beirut Assembly on August 10, 1968, the following words jumped out of his mouth: Freemasonry has in the past operated in accordance with plans and orders issued by a series of international centers, which have practical and material power over all Freemasons in the world. We may add that this is still the case today. A number of assemblies continue to work for the benefit of headquarters, from which it receives orders that are often contrary to national obligations. In Lebanon, even after national independence and up to the present time, foreign powers of Freemasonry still function freely, such as the Peace Assembly and the New York Assembly. Egyptian assemblies, a factual example of external connection. Let us now move from words to actual facts. We can mention that in Egypt at the beginning of the century, there were three assemblies, namely, the Egyptian National Assembly, which was subordinate to the British Assembly; b. the Egyptian National Assembly of the East, which was subject to the larger assembly in France; c. the Third Assembly, which was subordinate to the Turkish Assembly, but this one was dissolved in World War I. Between the first two assemblies, there was a great difference of opinion, until the 1904 agreement between Britain and France. After this agreement, the members of the two assemblies became brothers again. So you can imagine who was followed and who was a follower. Have the brothers of Freemasonry returned to their senses, so that they can take an attitude towards Freemasonry in a form that is in accordance with what religion, conscience, and inner purity require? Remarks of Mr. Fuad Magnal. In a campaign aimed at defending Freemasonry, after it has been proven with certainty its close connection with Zionism, we can read in a book entitled Freemasonry as the Essence of Canaan Culture, by Fuad Magnal these words: "International Zionism is one of the greatest stains on Freemasonry." Elsewhere he writes, "After Qadis or Qadis, the Kanaani period, came the Universal Red Freemasonry, consisting of the great leaders of Zionism, consisting of teachers who had become Jews. These seek to mislead the whole world by means of their confusions and changes in social systems, both religious and intellectual. All this has nothing to do with genuine Freemasonry, which abstains from all defects and is instead a manifestation of the best values." So Freemasonry, according to this book, consists of two parts. One part is holy and pure, clean in its values. The second part has been tainted by misleading and destructive Zionism. It would be nice if the author could explain to us, even in a few sentences, where this first type of Freemasonry exists and where its followers are. We could explain that such a good and clean Freemasonry exists only in the writer's imagination and at the tip of his pen. But in reality, the so-called Freemasonry is what I have described above. It gathers members from various nations in order to serve the Jews, to rebuild the Temple of Solomon on the Aqsa Mosque, and to revive the glory of Israel. Remarks of Yusuf al-Hajj. Yusuf al-Hajj was a Freemason who had reached the 33rd degree. Then he came to his senses and withdrew from the Freemasonry organization. He wrote a book that revealed many of the secrets of Freemasonry. In his book, The Temple of Solomon, he wrote, "Freemasonry is a means of exploitation. This is the most important of the means it uses, and which the Jews use." Elsewhere in the book he writes, "God testifies that we have never lacked in the inclination of our hearts towards the children of Israel. For many years, we have mingled with them in the assemblies of freedom, brotherhood, and equality. How many times have we walked with them in spreading the common principles of humanity? All the while we forget what they are doing in secret. Apart from us, with the aim of strengthening their unity, they unite themselves from all corners of the world, with the intention of gaining international sovereignty in the name of religion and nationalism. Yet they openly declare to us that they hate to hold on to these two factors, and they declare that they are harmful to human society. Reality proves that Freemasonry is Jewish in origin. Perhaps some of our readers think that our hostility towards Freemasonry is because we are Muslims. We have felt how painful it is to see all kinds of people coming from all over the world. All kinds of people, all coming to establish their glory on such a holy land. In accordance with what they say, we will mention here some examples of what others, who do not share our religion and have not suffered as we have done. 18th century French government reveals that Freemasonry is of Jewish origin. In the 19th century, the French government recognized the true nature of the relationship between Freemasonry and the Jews. It confiscated the Library of the Grand Orient, and its books were placed in trust at the Grand National Library in Paris, where they remain today.